What up? Jeff here with all my ICP Renegades. And today we're going to do a price prediction video. I have been looking at the price. We've been kind of sitting around $4 for a while. And I think there is going to be a move very soon. But before we get into that, I want to ask you guys a favor. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. We just hit 2,731 subscribers. We're trying to get all the way up to 3,000. I might do a giveaway on YouTube once we hit 3K. So more subscribers means the closer we get to that, I might give like a few ICP to a couple people that comment on the chat from now until we hit 3,000. So, hey, what's up, Palanga? Motivational sub. Good morning to you too. I want to ask everybody to go check out my staking video. I did get a copyright claim for the music, even though I put the copyright in the thing like it told me to. On the live, I actually put it on later, and then I edited it, put the copyright stuff in there, and they gave me another copyright claim, but it's not a strike against the channel. It's just their system's kind of messed up because that's what it tells me to do. And if you look in the video on the live, you can see the copyright stuff in there. I edited out of the other one. So go over there, check out that staking video. Let's get that in the algorithm working. It's going to get tons of search views later. That's how that works with those. But we want to see them do good. Even the one with the copyright, the live, oh well. At least the information's out there. I just don't get paid for it. That's all. So what's up, man? Check out Clipster YT on YouTube if you like Fortnite gaming content and stuff like that. You can throw the link in there. Actually, you're not mod, so let me just grab that for you for him real quick, and then we'll get started. Here. Gotta shout out the homie on here. Let's get him up to 200 subscribers. He's at 165 right now. I'm grabbing the link for you real quick here. There we go. And what's up, David Arnold? We have a new guy over here. What's up, bro? We're doing giveaways on Twitter all the time, and if you join our Discover portal, which is in the description, we're giving away 3 of our new NFTs coming up here at the end of July. We have our artist building everything right now. He already has basically everything, just has to put the rest of it together. Then we list on Yummy Marketplace. Check it out, YUMI. Let me actually get that link for you real quick too. So that you can go over there, check out NFTs. We will be listing on this marketplace right here pretty soon. So you're definitely going to want to check this out. Over here, and then we will get started. I just want to have you guys have all the information that you need. So there is the link for Yummy. All right, let's get into some price content now. The price has kind of been stagnant, but we have to look at where all of the indicators are underlying right now and see why we have not just pumped yet. So first we'll go over to coin market cap. We're at about 408 right now, but this volume isn't doing too terribly bad for where we're sitting at $4. We're at about 16 million in volume. The circulating supply, we have about 72 million left to be put out there. The fully diluted market cap is over 2 billion. So this, we need to see probably get up to at least 35 million. 50 million will really start to pump us up. I want to look at the weekly first because there is an indicator right here that is telling us that this downward trending resistance line is following the EMA 9 at 431. So we are probably going to go up to test, I would say at least like 428. And if we can, test this 431 and break out of that, then we're going to be good to go. We have a symmetrical triangle right here, which is basically telling us, well, we don't really know which way it's going. It could kind of break either way. We have, kind of oscillation back and forth. We have a wick up here that went above the EMA 9, which is very important on the weekly, but I'll tell you exactly why we didn't break out. And if you watch the channel, you definitely know this weekly RSI right here is our biggest level of resistance when it comes to volume via price. So think of it as supply and demand. There is, like I said, a 501 million ICP total supply. We have 439 out there. So 439 million, that means we're almost all the way completed with all the tokens out there. Of course, they can newly mint ICP as well with like neurons and stuff. So this could keep going up. But the max supply is infinite because of that, because you can create new neurons and stuff like that. So that could end up burning a lot of these as well. But as it comes to the price, we need to see this volume, this 16 million, get up to about 50 million to break this RSI. If we had like a nice week of $50 million volume every single day, we would break out of this massive indicator. As you see, once we broke under it, that's when everything started to really dump. That's when the SEC news came, right when we were under the biggest indicator. They did that on purpose, 100%. We did test a breakout right here, but since we were so far away from that EMA 9 at 464 right here, that's the reason that we didn't break it there. We didn't have enough volume, and we had resistance that pushed us back down. Now over here, we actually tested it again when we started going up right here. And we did break above the EMA 9, which is very, very important to get us to break out of this with some more volume, 30 to 50 million over here. We could test it again. We're basically staying in the same price all week. We did go down to 393 again, which would have been another good buying opportunity. Right here, I think in this symmetrical triangle at the bottom of it, this is a good buying opportunity at $4. We're at 408 right now, so I would definitely, not financial advice, but recommend if you were getting into ICP, we've only been under it for a few weeks before, including over here. So this is a really good entry point. We're still in the bear market. We're under the RSI. I would like to see a nice breakout above this RSI to confirm it, but these are good buy prices, right? Especially if you're holding till the next bull run or even the 2029 bull run. So let's go in and look at, let's get the Bollinger Band out here real quick. We can get rid of the 21 because that's all the way up at 475. This is going to be another big pocket of resistance right here because it's going to correlate with all this back here. Even the wick's down. It's actually right at the wick at 476 right there, going back here. So, and this was a breakdown area and a break up area from this level after it broke out of this box area. So that's going to be a pretty big level from 450 all the way up to $5, all the way up to this. Yeah, $5. So that's something to look at. Let's get that Bollinger out, and then we'll move on to the smaller time frames. Okay. So we are in the very bottom part of the Bollinger on the weekly. We have a lot of resistance to overcome going up, but we have some nice massive support around $394. That 10-cent area is where I'd be buying for sure. Even at like 408, this is a good price. So let's go down to the smallest time frame that we really want to look at, like the 15 minutes. So let me just fix this up real quick. Going from the weekly to the 15 minutes, a big jump. So this is looking a little better. We have a resistance at 4084 where we're at. We actually are testing it right now. This could be a possible double bottom. I saw on the daily, so we'll look at that in a minute. We could have a double bottom over here, or this could turn into either a cup and handle. If we go up and test this medium price on the Bollinger, we're testing a breakout of the RSI on the 15-minute. We had a nice little pump from 407 to 408, almost 409. And if we can continue this, get up to this Bollinger, get above that, this is going to be a pretty big area. Then it could possibly turn into a cup and handle, go down a little bit, test that 408. And if we don't see that, this could turn into a possible W. We could see it go down again, have a double bottom right here, and then test and break out of that, because that seems to be what happens. Let's go look at the daily just really quick so that I can kind of show you what I mean here. We seem to have these nice pumps. We build up, get some nice momentum going, pump up here, and then back down. And it kind of works at the bottom too, right? We start to pump down and then have a massive pump up. So that is what Internet Computer does a lot. It just has these big candles. And if you can get in at the right price before either the dump or the pump, and I'd recommend, on the bottom side of that, but we could have a W right here. This nice W on the daily, double bottom over here. It's kind of drawn out, and let's see if it's on the weekly at all. Yeah, no. I mean, if we did go a little bit lower, this could turn into a W. I don't really want to see that, so just kind of like over here, but we kind of confirmed this level right here. So this symmetrical triangle is more likely to see us go up and touch 428, and this RSI or the EMA 9, which is now at 432, and it might come down a little bit right to that 429, 430 area. So these are things we're going to have to be watching. Now, I'll do a price prediction at the end of this and let you guys know exactly where I think it's going to go. Let's look at the 30-minute. So we have a big resistance with the EMA 9 at 4087 and the Bollinger median price. So this is a pretty big area. We actually went up and tested it, got rejected on the 15-minute just a minute ago, but we are above the RSI on the 15-minute, or we were. So if we can get above the RSI, get enough volume in the next 15, 30 minutes, then we can break above this, and then that will go to the hour next. And it looks like we have a double bottom here on the 30 too. As you see this over here and then this over here, it could be some kind of a W to pump us up at least to the top of the Bollinger at 411 on the smaller time frame, get us up to that $4.30 level. And then, yeah, even on the hour, it looks like we have, kind of a sloppy W, but you could even start right here and drop that down for a double bottom right there, or just a double bottom. It doesn't necessarily have to be a W to have a double bottom right here. And we are testing on the hour too. We're actually above the RSI. Or no, we're a little bit below it right here. But we're testing that. So if, like I said, we can get above the 15-minute, then we can work on the 30-minute, which the 15 minutes a little bit below it now because it just went down. But if we can get above this on the 15, then the 30-minute will pop up here because we're really close. We're actually closer on the 30-minute than the 15-minute, which is kind of weird to see. And then on the hour, we're about 2 points left, less 1.99 on there. So this is a big area, this yellow line. So if this purple one gets above this yellow line, we're good to go. We're probably going to go up and test, 420, then 430. And keep moving up on there. So let's look at the 4-hour. This one's going to be pretty important as well. There was a double bottom kind of right here that pumped us up a little bit, kind of to the top, almost the top of this bottom. That one's kind of janky, but and then it had a double top right here, breakdown, double top, breakdown. So that's kind of what ICP does. We are above the 4-hour RSI. That's very important. Getting above this right here and then confirming it as support. We're testing it again. So if we do get a breakdown instead of a pump, which I don't think that's going to happen being at the level we're at. So this is massive to be above on the 4-hour. That's why we look at every single time frame. We're above it by almost a full point. Like 1.92 above it, 1.91, yeah, 0.2. So this is pretty good news. on the 4-hour. So we are actually above support. That's why at 4084. So we're testing support right here. And then the Bollinger Median's at 4082. So we actually just broke out of this level. We were at 407 a minute ago, testing this support right here. So we have some support on the 4-hour, which is good because the 1-hour is below and testing resistance right now at the median price on the Bollinger, and then up at 4089, which is just 0.005 above where we're at. So this is looking pretty good. I do want to go out to the daily though and look at the Fibonacci just to see kind of where we could be heading to if we do break out or break down. Well, let's look at the breakdown area, which is right around that 390-ish area, 387.86. So that is an area that we could possibly wick down. But I really think that we're pretty safe right here at this level, as long as no bad like black swan news comes out that kind of destroys the price. So let's do this one the other way now and see where we could actually go up to, which would be boom, right at 457. So this is the golden ratio. This is where the very top of this is right here, where we pumped to back on Monday, July 3rd, right before the 4th of July kind of dump, which is a good area that we could look to, but it's going to be a mass area of resistance once we get up there. And then right around here at that $5 level that we were talking about, you see there's another big pocket of resistance right there. So that's where we could see this go though. If we just get a little bit more volume on the daily, which it looks like the volume is starting to go from red to green now. So if we can get right above this, which would be 1.309 million ICP, we're at about half of that, a little under half of that now. We have about 2 days left, so I don't think that's going to get more volume than that, but we don't necessarily need that for a turnaround as long as this either gets less in the red, like it goes from that to that, or it turns from red to green. Then we see, more volume come in next week, and next week we get up to here or even here. That will be bullish, right? We're going to end up having to find out here in by the end of July, kind of where this symmetrical triangle is. And a symmetrical triangle is just a kind of neutral pattern. So let's get into some comments. I want to know what you guys are thinking about the price right now. I'm not worried about it. Like, we are coming up into the halving next year, right? So the halving of 2024, and I actually could probably lock my ICP up for even another year, thinking about it, because next year would just be 2024. That's the halving year. You want to wait 18 months after the halving event for the top. So I wouldn't wait 18. I'd probably unlock my ICP somewhere around like either early June or early August of 2025, because that's going to be right around a couple months from the top. So that's definitely good. Yeah, no problem, bro. Like, you looked out for me, I look out for you. That's what we do, man. So ICP fan, it deserves to be a top crypto. And so it's going to be, because the technology is on a whole nother level than every other crypto. Look at people like Vitalik, what they're saying about ICP. Look at people like Dominic Williams, the founder and chief scientist of ICP. If you start watching these people and listening to what they're talking about, next thing that comes to internet computers is going to be AI. And that is a big thing that competitors. So the thing is, a lot of cryptos focus on one area, right? So they could be really good with like ZK rollups, right? They could be really good with smart contracts, or they could be really good with payment systems like Flexa, right? Well, ICP can do all of that. That's the thing with ICP, and so instead of ICP being like, yeah, we can do everything that you do, you're obsolete. They're saying, hey, we can make everything you do better. Come join us. Come connect your, flex amp to internet computer. Provide Flexa payment systems through Canister smart contracts on the internet computer. And if you don't know crypto, you don't know what I'm talking about. But Flexa is a payment system like PayPal, except for crypto. And so if somebody like borrows or sends money or AMP, right, in this Flexa thing, if they send money and the money doesn't go through, they pay you with their AMP crypto, and then you can turn that crypto into cash right away. So it basically backs up their payment system with their cryptocurrency in case anything happens. But imagine that on a Canister smart contract on the internet computer, where you can have that, definitely safe and secure, instant transactions like that. So you don't have to wait and confirm that money. You could just send it instantly because ICP moves at internet speed and not, having to be confirmed on the blockchain later, have a list of people that have to wait, they have to pay more gas fees. The gas fees will be under like a tenth of a penny to send it every single time. So, I mean, you couldn't even spend $1 in like 10 years sending ICP like every single day. So these are the things that are going to be the future of the internet computer that can integrate with every single kind of system, have, Internet of Things on ICP, which is like physical, tangible items like the Origin Foundation does with jewelry to verify it, right? So it's a tangible thing. And like Igito Val was doing, like with his artwork, taking it to a real museum, which started out as an NFT, which is just like a JPEG that you own, that nobody else can own that certain JPEG, and you can resell it. Well, he can have a physical thing of that NFT in a marketplace, tie it up with a smart contract. That way you buy the NFT, you like get sent the physical copy for free. And that's what the Internet of Things are, right? And so these are the things that ICP is going to do. That AI coming out will be able to write articles for you, possibly even build games, or implement the AI into your games and have like, computer bots that you can fight, like if you want to do that or whatever. But it's going to be some huge stuff happening. Um, what's the next resistance on the fib? Yeah. So that's what we were just looking at. Let's say those two again. So it's at 438 and for hold up 456, 457, and then up at about 488. That's funny that you said that. I didn't even see that when I was doing it. So yeah, the fib is going to be really a good area that we could see going to. We already tested it with a wick. And these are the next levels we're going to. Whether it takes us another week to break out of this kind of slump, we have nice volume. It isn't under 10 million. So things are looking decent right now in the price for sure. Looks like we're gonna move sideways. Yep, and dude, you're right on, David, bro. Like you know what you're doing. So it looks like we're gonna move sideways for the next couple days. Then by Tuesday, get up to about 415, 420. And once we get above that 420, people really like that level for some reason. So if you can get above that 420, or even close to it, like bring us up to 415, people want to push it up to 420. They like that price. So I definitely agree with you there. So does motivational sub as well. So let's put that up on there. That's a good call right there. I'm staked. So earning ICP at least, price not an issue. I'm chill. Yeah. So that's what true holders do. Like unless something happens in your life where like you need money right away, staking is the way to do it. And the good thing is if you stake it for a certain amount of time, it's not really worth it to sell your internet identity so you can keep it locked up, for a nice amount of time, and you don't have to worry about it. You get, I just got my first maturity. Remember, I made the video. I'm like, hey, I haven't got my maturity yet. I looked there, and it's 0.26 of an ICP already. So I'll have a full ICP in 4 days. So every 4 days, I get a full ICP from my voting. That's the cool part, which is $4 right now, but it's going to be 20, 30, $40 later on. So biggest bag is at 567. So that isn't a bad price, especially if you're dollar cost averaging below that at 408. You'll bring that price, it'll go from 567 as your freaking general price or whatever, your average price. And staked until next October. So that would be a good one, 2024. That way you hit the first part of the bull run. The only problem with getting out at the first part of the bull run, as long as you scale out, that'll be good. Like start when it really starts pumping up above like 20 bucks, like scale out, take a little bit of profit then. Even if it goes back down, purchase more because we're probably going to go up to a $40, $50 by November of 2025, which is right now that's 10, 20x. So if you put in 1,000, you're going to make $20,000, if we 20x, or $10,000 if we 10x, which is I'm certain and confident in my own bags that they're at least going to 10x, which would bring me to about 40, 50K. With just my locked ICP. That's not the other stuff that I have in tokens, NFTs that are all going to go up as well. So yeah, that's a good, nice bag staked at 567. So you don't really have to worry about that. We're going to most likely be above 567 by next October. So ICP Young keeping at least until 2028. So that's smart. As long as you understand the bull and bear market and when they are. So the coolest part is the halving. You can go off of the halving for when the bull and bear market's going to start. It starts right around the halving, maybe like 3 to 4 months after, or even 6 months after. But 18 months, look it up. Like historically, go back to 2013. Look when the halving was. Look 18 months later, you're going to see somewhere around there at the top. Then go back to 2017 halving, or what was it, 2016 halving. So 2012, 2016, 2020. Yeah. So 2012 halving, 18 months later, in 2013, we have the top. Then 2016, 18 months later in 2017, we have the top. Same as in 2020, when we had the halving in April of 2020, 18 months later in November, exactly 18 months later, we had the top. So it works out really well that way if you understand, and that way you put it in maybe for like a year and a half, 2 years, and then you get out somewhere, even 2 years, you'd be out in July of 2025, right? So the halving 18 months later, November of 2025 should be the top. That historically, until that changes, that's the pattern that I make my money on. That's how I made money in Bitcoin. I was telling everybody, I'm like, whoa, I found a pattern that happens every time. Right around this halving area, a year and a half later, boom, we see the top. And then it happened in 2017. I was like, cool. I didn't know about crypto then, but I looked in 2020 and I was like, whoa, this is a pattern that happens every time. Like this halving marks 18 months later, this massive event of every kind of investing, institutional now. And that's something that didn't really happen in 2017. We didn't have the institutional investors. We didn't have ETFs. So this bull market could really be on a grander scale. We could see, Bitcoin going to $5 trillion market cap. We could see internet computer. If we 20x from $4, we're at about 1.8. Let's just say we could go to about $360 billion. That's where I could really see. So 10x would be right around 18 billion, but I could see us 100xing or 200xing by like 2029. Seeing ICP at like a $360 billion market cap, especially with the Ethereum integration coming in. When we go into the bull market, the gas fees are going to be absolutely massive for Ethereum again. And then you'll be able to use the internet computer to take those gas fees, put it on a canister smart contract, and that way you get an internet speed like that, because it does 5,700 transactions per second, which Ethereum does like a minuscule amount of that, maybe like 20 or 100 transactions per second. So it absolutely like 50, like 500 X's Ethereum transactions or something. So hope to lower average costs between now and then. Yeah. So if you're trying to get under 576, we're not going to have much longer under that price. I'd say maybe 6 more months of probably more over $5 than under. Internet of Things is one of the next big things, and world computers. Yeah. So other cryptos are going to try to copy ICP, but it's so technologically advanced and so much cryptography that goes into actually developing canister smart contracts. They have a whole system set up that's been, even before Genesis, they've been working on this like since, I don't know, 2016, or sometime a long time ago, 7 years ago. they started building this thing. So people aren't going to be able to just mimic the internet computer right away, but they're definitely going to try to copy, some of the things the internet computer does. But it will be so big by then, that they'll probably end up in the top 100, and internet computer will be top 10. So Matic peaked in May and December. So in general, just try to be free for early 2025. So that's a good point. Like I was saying, get possibly scale out at the beginning of the bull market, and follow the dips, buy the dips back up. Like if internet computer pumps to $30 and goes back down and touches that 16 level support, that would be, a good place. Sell at 30. When it goes back down to 16, get in. You could double your money when it goes back to 30 again. And if you put it in a stable coin, you could ride that price down and get even more internet computer that's worth even more money. So that's the way to do it. No, you're good. Thanks for stopping by. Sometimes our phones are bugging out. My phone dies all the time. That's just because I charge it like at night, and that's it. And then like in the day, if I'm using it, I will. Any update on ICP ETH integration? So it was supposed to come out in July. I was actually expecting delays on it because the Definity Foundation really likes to make sure that they have everything like up and running. So this kind of delay is not a big deal to me. We were a little bit worried about it with the Bitcoin integration. Like, is this really going to happen? But we already know that it's possible. We already know that we've done it with Bitcoin. So all now we're doing is waiting. So it should be definitely by the end of this year, early next year, latest. I could probably see it coming out like somewhere in like September, October of this year. But that's just my guess on it. I will look for more updated information on when that ICP integration is coming, because that's going to raise the price as well. If you look, there's millions of dollars in Bitcoin on ICP now. And so I think we could see like $1 billion eventually. ICP ETH, ICP Bitcoin. These are the things that are really going to shape the future of crypto. So I was just putting together a halving bull market roadmap, and I think you would be wise to look up the days between the halving and the peak, and halving and the love for the cycles. So that's super true. If you understand this, this is the biggest indicator in crypto wide. I know if you listen to other influencers, they'll tell you, no, we're in a super cycle. No, we're only going to be in bear markets and bull markets. Well, until that happens, absolutely not. We're in the same cycle that we've had since the very beginning, and you can do your own research on that. I'm not telling you just listen to what I say, because it's something that you can look up, you can study, you can see the patterns, and then that's how you win. And these are better than like just chart patterns. They can be kind of manipulated. This is something built in to the Bitcoin protocol at the very beginning by Satoshi Nakamoto, which is just having the amount of rewards. You have less supply. You still have either equal demand, which is double the demand because you have half of the supply, and the demand goes up because then you have people FOMOing in. You have new investors that are hearing about this. The price goes up, which brings in more people. And these are the things that absolutely create our bull runs. And then we have good news coming out. We have people like Elon Musk tweeting, and then we have the FUD that you have to be careful of. So first halving 130 days after was the high. Second halving 530 days. I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to look that up, but I'm pretty sure that it was right around 180 days for both. You could be right, but 530 days after the halving, we had a peak before that though. Maybe it didn't go to an all-time high, but I think let's take a look at that real quick before we end, because now you got me interested. BTC. Okay. So then we also got to look at the halving dates. Halving date, uh, dates. Bitcoin. So the first halving was on November 28th of 2012. Then we had in 2016, July 9th. Okay, so this is probably why there's a different date, but 530 days. You're talking like almost, yeah, okay, 2 years. Okay. So 180 days, you said after the first one. So let's go back to November 2012 um, on this here. So let's go like to the month. We can do 12 months. Okay, that doesn't really go back that far. So January 2011, we're definitely going to have to go into the months. Okay, so January 20, or wait, hold on. It was November 28th, 2012. So right here, put a mark right there. So 2012. Then we have the peak, November, the 18 months later. So, well, actually, that would be 2 years later. So, yeah, so 2 years later, wait, 2012, no, 1 year later. So, exactly 1 year later, we had the peak here from November of 2012 to November of 2013. Then it went into December. So yeah, about a year after the halving. So the halving was in November. So that's why. So it's about 18 months, I would say, from like May or April of that year. So when they changed the halving dates like that, that's where I got confused because I went 18 months back right here. So yeah, it's about a year right there. But if we go here and we look at 2017 or 2016, I should say, July 9th, 2016. So let's go July 2016. So right here, put that. So then we have our peak in December of 2017. So right around, let's see, July, August, September, October, November, December, 17 months after the halving on this one. So it was a year, then 17 months. And then if you go to 2020, in I think it was May of 2020. Yeah, right here. So this was our last halving. Then if you go 18 months later after that, you have our top up here. So which is going to be right on this candle, November of 2021. So let's see, we had it in May, so June, July, August, September, October, November, exactly 18 months. So it was 1 year, 17 months, and then 18 months. So right, like I said, right around that 18-month marker from each one is going to be the peak. Like the first time was a year, but that's because it was in November. If it would have been in May, just like the other ones, or April even, you could see 18 months from there. So that is what I'm talking about. You can just kind of go look at this yourself and see. But this is where your cycles. And as you see, after the halving, this is what I want to look at as well. We constantly went up. So that's because the supply is less and the demand is the same or even more. So that's like doubling the price of each coin, right? That gets minted because it's going to give out the same rewards for miners that mine Bitcoin. So, and as you see, we're a nice ways above the bottom on Bitcoin. And if we go and we look, well, the next halving is in April of 2024. So that would be right. Hold on, April of 2024. So that's where our halving is. So then we go 18 months after that. So June, July, August, September, October, November, November of 2025. So that's where our next top should be for Bitcoin, and for other crypto could be before or after that. But we're looking at November of 2025 over here. So as you see these boxes, are pretty much the same size from this halving to the top, from this halving to the top. So these are the kind of things that we really need to understand when it comes to crypto. I was wrong about the first one. I thought it was 18 months, but I forgot that it was in November. So, but that's neither here nor there. We're pretty steady on these cycles right now. It's something that I'm definitely going to be selling somewhere around, you know, February of 2025 all the way to very latest November. That's the latest that I want to sell. And that depends on the price. Like some altcoins will go up in August of 2025 before that. So just wanted to show you guys that. Um, what's up, Digital Luke? We got another new person over here. Damn, these lives are doing good. Thank you guys. I really appreciate your support. He has a pancake. I love it when King Love comes over here. He has some funny shit. Atomic Wallet or Tom McWallet. I mean that dude, that had me rolling for weeks, bro. Like that was hilarious. If you guys don't know what I mean, we were talking about he was talking about Atomic Wallet, and we were live or something or making a video, and I'm like, who the hell is Tom McWallet? Uh, but it was hilarious. Then he made a profile called Tom McWallet. Yeah, it was funny. Recheck myself. I don't know how I got it. Like 2:30 in the morning after yeah, that's dude. We all make mistakes. That's why it's always good to research, double check. Even myself. That's why I was like, when you said that, I'm like, oh, I need to make sure that what I'm saying is true. And I just noticed those cycles. And if the Bitcoin halving, I think it also has something to do with the time of the year. In that kind of November kind of Christmassy season where everybody's like spending a little bit of money in the certain years, like with the stock markets. And I think there's a lot of macroeconomical implications that kind of go into that as well. And I actually should probably do some research on that and see, like, look at the time between the halving and the peak and see what's going on, like the stock market, see what's going on, in the news in the world, what the US dollar is doing, all of these different things that can say, okay, well, yeah, the halving, the cycles, those are, a big part of it, but also look what else is going on in the world. And if you guys research that, hey, there's Tom McWallet, man. I, I love it. We're good, man. How are you doing? Um, well, Luke Palenga was late. Ford's biggest bag cost 567, and Arnold needs to go to sleep earlier. Dude, you guys are on it today. I'm thinking about November 30th of 2025. Yeah, so don't try to pick the exact date. But that's a little bit risky. But man, what if you called the top to the exact date right here, November 30th? That would be amazing. So we got to give it up for our boy Tom McWallet. Dude, that was just so freaking funny. When do you think the ETH integration will be released? We talked about that earlier. I'm thinking possibly we're thinking like October of this year. That's what I'm thinking. Like I'm not speaking for Defendity. Like I'm not part of Defendity, but what I'm speaking to is previous experience with like the Bitcoin integration. They know more now. They were supposed to release in July. Um, which is kind of ambitious for them, which I like that they're on it. They're, if the developers are working on stuff, you're good. Like you only have to worry about a blockchain really if the developers stop working. That's what happened with Bitcoin. It disappeared for like a year or two, and then the developers came back, and then it had a pump. But it's still, I mean, that's like the black screen of death from your TV, right? When the backlight goes out, it's just like if the developers leave, there's no reason to continue, right? So as long as they're working, which they are, and they're building all the time, they're putting resources and money. So definitely, honesty, you can predict these things anymore with big money in the mix. So that is a very big thing. But when it comes to the cycles and the way that crypto moves, it's built into the protocol. Yes, all of these things are going to have massive implications. You're 100% correct. Having institutional money, the Bitcoin future ETFs, ever since we got those, the market has dumped ever since. And then we had a recovery lately. But these are the things that can really affect the market in the short term. but the longer term, bigger money, like people like MicroStrategy that have over 200,000 Bitcoin, they are the whales that are really going to control the market. And when they trade, they do it on like over the counter trading. They don't do it where it actually affects the Bitcoin price. And so once we get more of these kind of institutional smart investors like MicroStrategy into Bitcoin, we're going to see the internet computer absolutely start pumping, because more money and maybe even institutional money will come into ICP, but Bitcoin ultimately decides the price. So yeah, the Bitcoin ETFs are a double-edged sword because it brings more money into the market, but it also dumps the market a lot more. And if you haven't noticed, we've had some pretty massive dumps ever since the Bitcoin ETFs, because that's what they do. It's like the stock market now, a little bit, right? Because they're trading on the open market with these ETFs, and so they can big money can go in. So that's the thing, and they like to short stuff to the ground. Just here for my daily dose of pancakes. That reminds me of New Day when they used to throw their pancakes everywhere. ICP 12th most active project in terms of developers as June of 20. Oh, that's good. Of June of 2023. 470 devs working on it. I'm bullish on ICP, and we're going to hire another one, whether it be one of the 470 devs or not, for our new game, which is going to be, we're going to have a demo hopefully by the end of the year. And then early next year, we're hoping to get our game released, or late next year. We don't know when that's going to happen, but yeah, we're going to add to that developer pool. I'm also trying to get other developers coming in through Unity, through Rust, however they can develop on the internet computer. So I think that's all we're going to have. We kind of went overwinded, but I wanted to talk to you guys. That's the point of the live. So thank you for all your comments. Let me know in the comments either here or after what video I should make, like what you guys want to see. Go over to internetcomputer.org and check out all the dApps they have there. See if there's anything you haven't seen me make a video about. And I will make that. I'll do an update on that, and I'll even contact the team if it's a project that I can reach out to somebody. So, all right, guys. That being said, goodbye and good ICP.